Now, in this atmosphere here of uncertainty and the new Senate order, I'd like to talk about another subject that is related for the lack of any progress that we might have. This is becoming an all too familiar situation for Kansas farmers and ranchers and all of American agriculture. In some respects, we are closer to signing a farm bill into law than a year ago, but we still have not yet completed this important task. As one of the 41 members named to the conference committee in October 1, I was able to give a quick opening statement outlining my biggest priorities for the Farm Bill, including addressing regulations that protect crop insurance, reforming the SNAP program, i.e. food stamps. Unfortunately, that was the one and the only time that the full conference committee has met to date. With time in short supply, the four principals of the agriculture committees, both in the House and the Senate, the ranking member, the chairwoman, the chairman, and the ranking member in the House, are trying to make the majority of decisions as best they can among themselves and behind closed doors. Sometimes you can get things done behind closed doors without 37 people offering their opinion. I understand that, but with all due respect to those members, we have real policy differences that deserve to be debated publicly, particularly in the commodity and the nutrition titles. The other 37 of us have been ready and willing to be put to work, yet the conference committee has only met once with no future meeting scheduled. I am very disappointed that an agreement on the Farm Bill may be close, yet some of our ideas and suggestions and concerns will go unheard or unanswered, such as the new environment we live in the Senate. As I said during the Agriculture Committee markup and our only conference meeting, I have real concerns with the direction of farm programs in this year's bill. We have what's called target prices. You might as well just say subsidies, whether named counter-cyclical payments or adverse market payments, and they have proven to be trade and market distorting. For some commodities, these prices are set so high that they may cover a producer's cost of production. That's right, you have a government subsidy over the producer's cost of production, essentially guarantee that a farmer profits if yields are average or above average. In this budget environment, and at a time when we are looking to make smart cuts, I simply don't know how to justify this subsidy program that can pay producers more than the cost of production and essentially becomes nothing more than an income transfer program, not a risk management tool. After the committee markup, I had hopes that we could improve on the Farm Bill to more resemble the risk-oriented and market-based approach the Senate had previously taken, working with the distinguished chairwoman from Michigan and myself as ranking member. Last year, I worked with the Senate leadership from both parties to consider the Farm Bill through, of all things, regular order. Everybody had a chance to offer an amendment. The first amendment was offered, had nothing to do with the Farm Bill, by Senator Paul. Regular order, giving all senators the chance to improve the bill or make their concerns known. However, this year we considered a mere 15 amendments. Last time around it was 73, 300 offered. 250 were offered this time, but we only had 15 amendments. All amendments regarding the new target price program were blocked from consideration and votes on the Senate floor. All of them. Senator Thune had amendments, Senator Grassley had amendments, Senator Johanns had amendments, I had amendments, all serving on the Agriculture Committee. Of course, the real problem with farmers planning for a government program and not for the market is that these programs then only serve to extend the period of low prices due to overproduction. Besides high target prices for all commodities, the House wants to recouple payments with current production for the first time since 1996. The Chamber of Commerce has warned that if we go down this road, we will quickly invite other nations to initiate dispute settlement against the United States and to do so with a good chance of success. I also have long-standing WTO concerns, the World Trade Organization, and the United States lost, and I mean really lost. The WTO stove was really hot in a case to Brazil, and part of the decoupled target price program. We're still paying for that. I am hopeful that we can come to some agreement that works without setting us up for a further trade dispute not ruled in our favor. Another sticking point seems to be SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. I think everybody is aware of that. It is important to note that at least 80% of the United States Department of Agriculture's budget goes to nutrition programs, and SNAP was exempted from across-the-board cuts known as sequestration. The Senate bill only trims $4 billion out of a nearly $800 billion program in a 10-year budget. That is less than 1% of a reduction. And it doesn't cut anybody's benefits. It looks at eligibility and other problems that are within the SNAP program. We have the responsibility, certainly, to do more to restore integrity to the SNAP program, eliminate fraud and abuse, while providing benefits to those truly in need. I offered an amendment during the committee markup and on the floor that would have saved an additional $31 billion from the SNAP program, I thought in a smart and responsible way that will not take away food from needy families. The House took a similar approach and also included work requirements for food stamps and found a total of $39 billion in savings. That's about a 5% reduction over 10 years. It has also been mentioned that SNAP has already been cut by $11 billion this year. However, the end of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 stimulus boost for food stamps was a temporary increase in benefits to assist individuals and families hurt by the recession. The end of this temporary increase is in no way related to the Farm Bill, and the Congressional Budget Office agrees that no budgetary savings are achieved. Reconciling the difference between $4 billion and $40 billion in savings has proven really tough so far, if not impossible. However, unlike the majority of the programs in the Farm Bill, if we don't have a new bill signed into law, the food stamp program, the SNAP program, will go on unchanged, and there will be no savings or reforms to the program. Last week, I spoke with the Kansas Farm Bureau, 800 members of the Farm Bureau and their families, and once again, the number one priority for virtually every producer was crop insurance. Even after the devastating drought the last few years, crop insurance has proven to work, and producers from Kansas to Illinois and all over the country are still in business helping our rural families and our communities. In 2013, producers across the country insured a record number of acres, covering nearly 295 million acres and over 123 billion in liabilities. The takeaway message is clear: more farmers are purchasing crop insurance policies to protect their crops than ever before. In both versions of the Farm Bill, we were able to strengthen and preserve crop insurance. We just need to keep that commitment through the final legislation. The Farm Bill is the appropriate time and place also to address regulatory overreaches by the Environmental Protection Agency and the rest of the administration that impact farmers and livestock producers. In that respect, I appreciate the House in addressing several burdensome regulations that I've worked on in the Senate, including pesticides, farm fuels, tank storage, the lesser prairie chicken, bless the heart of the lesser prairie chicken, GIPSA, mandatory country of origin labeling called COOL. But overall, I'm disappointed that it looks like we will not finish the Farm Bill before the end of this year, despite the need for certainty and predictability all throughout farm country, not to mention the Department of Agriculture. Our folks back home have to make business decisions regardless of the status of negotiations. Just one example, Kansas wheat growers have already planted their 2014 wheat crop and have been required to certify their acres. They just don't know what programs will be available to them. While we all want to provide long-term certainty to farmers, ranchers, and their families, and American consumers, we have already let one extension expire in September. The House may pursue extending the 2008 bill yet again. However, Our Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid, said yesterday that even if the House passes a short-term extension of the Farm Bill, the Senate will not pass it. A year ago in August, I went to the floor upset with the leader for failing to consider a bill that the House had passed to reinstate the livestock disaster programs from the 2008 Farm Bill in response to the devastating drought in the Midwest. Went on for 3 years. At the time, I called it shameful and an abdication of our duty to the cattlemen and the women that feed the world, and warned of the consequences of inaction. We were unable at that time to finalize the Farm Bill, still the same Farm Bill a year later, and our livestock producers are continuing to work to rebuild their herds after multiple years of drought, and yet livestock disaster programs remain on hold. Then the devastating blizzard hit the Dakotas and Nebraska this year, and those producers were left with little federal support, a problem we could have addressed a year ago. All of us on the conference committee and every member throughout Congress should be equally troubled if we leave this year without addressing the Farm Bill. I'm committed to resolving these difficult differences in order to provide certainty and a forward-thinking Farm Bill that is responsible to Kansans and farmers and ranchers and consumers as well as taxpayers.